Welcome back. My name's Tommy Underhill, and I am the adult ADHD and autism coach with Littleton Couples Counseling. And today I'd like to ask and talk about how do you label your adult ADHD or autism? To start with, labels are great to discover what size pants I'm going to buy or to read the ingredients in a snack I'm about to eat. Labels are great in filing cabinets. There are lots of places that labels are indispensable. On the other hand, labels are not always as beneficial when they put a person into a category they may not identify with. Let's examine being on the autism spectrum or having adult ADHD. How do you want to identify and define yourself? I'm not asking what the world calls you. What do you call you? I have no issue identifying myself or labeling myself as the autistic kid. I don't know how I'd want someone else to identify my adult autism. Mainly because I've never thought about this end of the conversation. Most of the time, my mask is up, and normal people do not think me any different than anyone else. My wife and I are friends who are both members of the couple are medical doctors. Because I've learned to mask my adult autism, they don't fully believe my wife that I was on the spectrum. They just couldn't see it. That is, until I was turned loose in an archaeological site in Tuscany. The ground was littered with potsherds, pieces of roof tiles, tesserae, and other ancient detritus. After a few minutes of me running around like a kid in a candy store on a sugar high, my wife asked, "Can you see his adult autism now?" Yes, our friend replied. The adult autism mask was off, and it was impossible for me to hide who and what I was. Neat thing was, I was still just Tommy after that interaction. Neither of our friends thought of me any differently. Most of my friends don't hold on to my adult autism as a label. I'm simply their friend Tommy. To then I can be a quick quirky, just like a lot of other people are. However, I've seen instances where a person was labeled as autistic, and that label was painful and used to create and enforce unfair boundaries and prejudices. They didn't want to be segregated as not normal, worthy of friendship, or up to the task. They were just a bit quirky in their own way, sort of like everyone else is. I also have adult ADHD. Years ago in the unenlightened dark ages of my youth, some of my peers thought I could be an annoying spaz at times. If you don't know the meaning of the word, ask someone about 20 years your senior. I didn't like what people labeled me as, and that label often became synonymous as a replacement for my name. Perhaps it made things easier when the spaz or the weirdo was picked last for kickball. As a person with adult ADHD or adult autism, you may have experienced being picked last for your own team. This time, the team may have been work or for a date. Those experiences can be really hurtful, and they can have a significant effect as any experience in childhood. Take control of the situation, assign your own label. And as a person with an adult ADHD diagnosis as well as adult autism diagnosis, I've experienced the empowerment of choosing my own labels for who, what, and how I am. When I coach someone with adult ADHD and or adult autism, I want to know how you define yourself. I think your ownership of your adult autism or your adult ADHD is just as important as the discussion surrounding preferred names, genders, and pronouns. Do you see yourself as having autism or being autistic? Do you work to manage your adult ADHD or do you struggle and suffer with adult ADHD? Identification and labels matter. If you haven't thought about how you want to be identified, I invite you to take time to think about that. I want to be sensitive to how we talk about who, what, and how we are. I hope that in most cases, people just see you and identify you as you, without a label. If you need to talk about it, give us a call. Let's talk about coaching and see where we can go to define and help you define who, what, and how you are. Talk soon.